So you're in a new relationship. Like, how much of your past do you need to be honest about moving forward with your new date? Cassie's got the email. And if you have anything going on in your life, you got questions like this, and you think there's somebody in the Bert Show fam around the country that can help you out and you need advice, thebertshow.com is where you send that email. All right, Cass, what do you have?
I need some opinions from the women of the Bert Show. I need to know how you'd react to knowing this info about a new potential relationship, or how you'd react if he hadn't told you and then you found out. So I recently graduated college and the real world has started for me. While I had a few relationships in college, none of them lasted and followed me beyond graduation. I think that's a good thing because I did a lot of self-exploration in the past several years, and I'm a very different person now than I was then, which is part of the issue. I'm in my first post-college relationship with an awesome woman. We've been seeing each other for about 2 weeks and it's been great. It feels really effortless. We've not met each other's family or friends, however, I assume that'll be coming soon. Obviously, family and friends know a lot about a person and certainly would know something significant. So I think she's likely to hear and find out that she is the first woman I have dated in a while. I had 2 relationships in college, but both of them were with other men. However, even while I was in those relationships, I questioned if that is where I should be. At the time, I had a preference for men, but also always had an attraction and a desire to be in a relationship with a woman. I was very open about my relationships back then and never felt the need to hide them. However, I'm questioning if I should keep this info from her. I'm not ashamed of who I was. I'm just not sure how she'll feel about it. Will it weird her out? Will she want to be in a relationship with me? Will she always doubt my attraction for her? So is this part of my past something I need to tell her before I start a relationship with her?
All right. Directed at the women of the Bert Show. Davi is not here this morning. We've been doing this rotating 4-day work week for one person on staff each week, and it's Davi's week, so she's not here today. You're not hearing her as much. All right, Cassie and Kristen, where are you with this? And if you guys want to get in on it, 1-855-BERT-SHOW.
I don't think it needs to be disclosed unless they're, like, it's not going to hurt her in some way, but I hate that you would have to hide that part of yourself. Like, it's nothing to hide and it shouldn't have any bearing on the relationship. So for me, I think it's honestly your personal preference at this point.
I also feel like it's part of how you identify and like where you are within the LGBTQ. Like, is he bi or is he now straight? Like, so I do feel like that's something that should be discussed at some point, right?
Okay, I think I'm going to go out of PC land here, and I'm going to be authentic with you guys. This would make me nervous. This would make me feel insecure. If I was told this. And I'm not sure when that conversation needs to be had, but it's certainly not in the first or second date. But I think that, yeah, this would make me feel a little insecure.
Why would it make you feel insecure? Like if Tiffany told you when you all first started dating that she dated a couple of women before you.
Well, I think he said the only relationships he's had in the past up until her were with men.
That is different.
And that's very different. So I would be the very first. Then I do feel like I would feel insecure about that. Like, and I don't know why. This is the first time I've ever thought of it, so I might be saying things that I'll regret here because I haven't really thought it through. But the truth of the matter is, if she was going to mess around, she would mess around with a man. So why would I be insecure if she was going to mess around with a woman? But I think I would want to know.
So you would rather know, knowing that it's going to make you insecure in your relationship, rather than not know and maybe find out down the line from someone else when you're in the relationship?
Yeah, especially if it wasn't like some kind of experimenting 1 night or a 2-night thing or a 3-night thing. I mean, we're talking full-on relationships with people of the same sex. And I'm the first of the other gender. I would want to know that, yes.
It wouldn't make me insecure, but I would want to know. And I feel like the person that you're dating does deserve to know. And I feel like you should always be 100% honest going into a relationship, because why not? If a person doesn't want to accept you for who you genuinely are, then why would you want to be with them anyway?
That's a very valid point. And two, it depending on, how small of a community you live in, if you're out and about and you run into one of his exes who is a man, and then that's how you find out and you get introduced to an ex of his who's a man, I would be like, why did you hide that from me?
But at the same time, isn't it weird to give like a rundown on your dating history? Like, my husband doesn't need to know about any of my exes. I've brought them up, but I don't sit there like and give a catalog of everyone who I used to date just in case it might make him feel weird. Like, so this dude had an interest in dudes in college and dated them. I just, like, you love who you love. So it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. He's with this woman now, and that's who he's into.
Here is Sunny. Good morning, Sunny. You're part of the Bert Show. Hi.
Good morning. I was in a similar situation where I dated a man who had been with other men, and I would definitely say tell her as soon as possible, because if she doesn't accept you the way you are, then there's no point in being with her.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Kristen?
No, I agree wholeheartedly with her. I feel like you would probably, like, and this is just reiterating what Mo said, somebody should love you and accept you for who you are. So you would probably want to establish that out the gate rather than a couple months down the road, and then that's something that they're not cool with.
Ashley, good morning.
Good morning. So I am also a bisexual woman. I'm currently engaged to a man. And this was one of our first conversations, because just because I end up with a man permanently does not mean that I do not have an attraction for women. It still makes me bisexual. I'm not straight because I marry a man. Same with a man who is also bisexual. I think that's important that they come out with this up front, like you just said, because if you find this out down the road, it could be damaging to the relationship.
Appreciate you calling.
I feel like it's important for him to tell if he wants to share that, because he wants to say, like, this is who I am. But I don't think you should feel forced to share that info, because as a partner, like, that shouldn't change how you feel about a person.
No?
I don't think you necessarily have to go out your way to share everything about your past. But if a person does ask or they have concerns, I would be honest. I wouldn't run from it.
I feel like this goes right back to the same conversations we've had time and time again, and so many things we've thrown out there. Like, when do you tell somebody you're divorced? When do you tell somebody you have kids? Like, those are all parts of your life, and much like this is. So it's like, when do you disclose that?
This feels very different to me, though. And again, I can't back up how I'm feeling about it because I really haven't vetted it and I haven't thought about it much. But having a dating past with somebody from the same sex feels very different than revealing that I have a child or I got divorced, for me. T, good morning.
Hi, yes, I think that he needs to tell her immediately, especially if he's already feeling like this is someone that he wants to have around family and friends, and he's never dated a woman before. That can be a damaging to the relationship along down the line if she's like, oh, you only dated men? It just comes up and he's out and it's like, oh, you only dated men? You waited until I got feelings for you. It's kind of like almost trickery. You're not showing your true self to me. You're not giving me the option to, make a sound decision on us.
Appreciate you calling. Thank you. That's a tough one right there, man. That is out of my zip code for sure.
The Bert Show.